So on that first one, we want to get the a by itself. What are we going to do? Divide by what? -9. Good. We've seen this type of problem on the openers a lot lately because it is one that a lot of people miss, so I want to make sure we get plenty of practice on it. This is 9 times a, so we're going to divide, and we want to divide by -9 because it's a times -9. So we divide by -9 on both sides. On the right side, those -9s are going to cancel, and what does that leave? A. And then on the left side, first of all, we have a positive divided by a negative is going to give us a negative, and 36 divided by 9 is 4. So we get -4 equals A. Also, don't forget on the test today, make sure you circle your variable, make sure you draw your line of equality, make sure you box your answer. All that stuff will be worth a point. Make sure that you are using inverse operations, so just by writing divided by -9 on both sides, that would be worth another point. And then getting the correct answer here, so doing 36 divided by -9 correctly would get you another point, and then 1 point for your answer written correctly. So each problem on the test today will be worth 4 points. How about that second one? We want to get that b by itself. So what do we need to do? So we need to add 7 here to get rid of the -7. We'll do that on both sides. So on the left side, the -7 and +7 cancel, and that leaves just the b, right? On the right side, we have a negative and a positive. So since we have negatives and positives, they're going to cancel, right? Okay, a negative cancels with a positive, so we have 4 negatives that'll cancel with 4 of the positives, which will leave what? 3, right? And since there's more positives than negatives, it's going to be a +3. We get that by subtracting 7 minus 4. All right. Got 2 with fractions here. So on the next one, we want to get the c by itself. So how am I going to get that c by itself? What do I do? Subtract what? Subtract 2/3. All right. So just underneath, we'll write -2/3. Got to do it on both sides. On the left side, the 2/3 cancel each other out, which leaves us with c. On the right side, I can't subtract this because I have sixths here and I have thirds here. So what do I need to do?
Multiply by 2 for -2/3.
Okay, good. We need to get a common denominator. For your common denominator here, you could use, what a lot of people might use is 18, which is a good one to use because we get that by doing 6 times 3. But there is a smaller common denominator, which would be 6. So as Alejandro said, we can just multiply the top and the bottom here by 2, and that would make this 4/6 instead of 2/3. And remember, we're subtracting it, so we'll make that a negative. So instead of -2/3, now we have -4/6. So we have 1/6 minus 4/6 gives us. So first of all, we have a positive and a negative, so there's going to be canceling. We'll subtract, and we get 3, but it's going to be a -3 because the 4 is bigger, right? And then on the bottom, we get 6.
And then we can reduce.
Yes, that can reduce. Make sure that when we're dealing with fractions, you reduce if you can. All right, so we're going to divide by 3, top and bottom. So that's going to become
C equals
-1 on top and 2 on the bottom. So C equals -1/2. And remember, when you have a negative on your fraction, it can either go with the numerator on top or it can go out in front of the fraction, but never put the negative on the bottom of the fraction. Last one, let's get that d by itself. So that's d divided by 3/4. So what do I do to get rid of the 3/4? Multiply. So the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we're going to multiply by 3/4. Do that on both sides. And on the left side, those 3/4 cancel each other out, which leaves what? D all by itself. On the right side, we have 2 choices. We can multiply it and then reduce, or we can reduce and then multiply. I'm going to go ahead and reduce first. Is there anything in this that'll reduce? 6 with 4? Is that what you said? Okay, what goes into 6 that also goes into 4? 2. What's 6 divided by 2? What's 4 divided by 2? Okay, anything else? How about the 3 with the 3? Can we reduce that? Why not? They're both numerators, exactly. So since they're both in the numerator, we can't reduce those. So that's it for that. So now we're going to multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 7 times 2 is 14.